Hi guys, welcome to the Big Three, my sweet for the tears. Today I'm joined by my good friend
Jake.
Yeah. I just met Jake last week. He works on a condiv site with me through labour hire. We just got to talking a little bit, and we started to talk about. Jake, we started to talk about your experience when you were homeless.
Yeah, like over the last 3 or 4 years, having kids and whatnot, we've gone through some struggles with family and whatnot, and we ended up homeless. We were living up in Beenleigh, and we had nowhere to go. We had our son. We were staying in people's houses, in their garages and spare rooms, and got to the point where we felt no longer welcome anywhere. And my partner was heavily pregnant with our third kid, and with our second kid actually, and we had nowhere to go. We went into the city, and we went to a group called Brisbane Youth Service, and they gave us a hotel for a week. And in that time, like, we went from absolutely, we had nothing. We thought we were gonna have our kid was running around on the streets, like following us everywhere. He didn't have a room. He had nothing. And then to go from absolutely rock bottom, you didn't know whether my partner was gonna go into labour on the street, to we were staying in a hotel for a week. On that final day, we got a phone call after going through all different organisations trying to find a place to stay or just a place for another week to get by. My partner went into labour on the last night, and Brisbane Youth Service actually come around. They took me into the Department of Housing, who happened to have a house pop up on that day. The day my daughter was born, we were able to get off the street and move. I was able to move into a house and take my missus out of hospital with the kids over to there. And now we're at a point 2 years later where we're nearly back at rock bottom, where we're about to lose our house. We could move into another house, but when you hit that bottom, you don't know where you're going to go.
Yeah.
You can only look forward to that next day, and when it's hard to say, like, that feeling of when you're at rock bottom.
Yeah, because you've been in that situation before when you were younger.
Yeah, like, I went from sleeping in stairwells and living on the street to going to caravan parks and taking stuff out of eskies because I had no food, and stealing from shops where I was getting in trouble from the law and shit, and it just wasn't worth it anymore. I just had a wake-up call one morning and thought, I'm going out, I'm going to go find myself a job and try and turn my life around, because living on the streets, living in stairwells, like, you've got to think to yourself, where are you going with your life? What do you want to do? And you can't go blaming it anywhere else. Like, it's all about choices you make. It's all for yourself. Like, if you want to do something, fuck what the dude next door says.
Yeah.
And pardon the language, but it's it's all for you.
Yeah.
Like, I've been run down that many times and told that I can't do this and I can't do that, and I turn around and I look back to them people who are still homeless, still doing nothing, and I've now got a house, got my kids, I'm in a happy relationship. I've dragged myself out of rock bottom to now I've got something that I want to spend the rest of my life with. And it takes hitting that bottom. Like, it was a good 6 months of me sleeping in stairwells and public toilets and getting woken up in people's backyards because I've fallen asleep on their couches. And
well, you broke in and ended up sleeping on the couch, and
like,
they came home.
Oh, like, being in the backyard, being in the backyard and fucking just sat down for 2 minutes and you're that tired from sleeping on the street and having no sleep. You fall asleep there, and you get that embarrassing wake up in the morning when they've come home or whatever, and like, what the fuck are you doing here? It's like, you're sitting there and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, and you try to explain yourself, and then no one cares. No one thinks about you or what you're going through. They just think, oh, he's just in my backyard stealing stuff. It's like, no, I'm actually homeless, and I'm trying to find a place out of the rain that's warm to have a rest.
They don't understand that and don't care.
And thanks to one or two people that fucking helped me out along the road, like, and told me, like, it's all about yourself. Think of yourself. Don't go thinking of what he or she thinks, or what your parents are going to think, or what your best mate's going to think.
Yeah.
It's all about choices you want to make for yourself, because at the end of the day, like, I could have chose to have stayed smoking pot and kept on the crack and kept selling drugs and drinking piss every day and thinking about how I'm going to get my next fix, or I could have done like I've done. I've done the right thing, and I've gone out, and instead of wasting my money on weed and shit, I went out and I've got a job. went and used my Centrelink check to start off with. I went and used that to help pay for my first week's rent while I was working.
Yeah.
And then I started getting my income, and I was able to get out of the hole, pay all my debts, move away from the sun. Like I was up the Sunshine Coast. I moved away from the Sunshine Coast, and I moved all the way to Yatala just to get away from the people I was hanging around to get out of that hole I was in. Like it was just never ending. And then I started to make the same sort of crowd when I moved down to Yatala and Beenleigh and that. And that's why I had to move away from there because I didn't want to end up back in that hole. I could see myself ending up back there, and I nearly did.
And now you're tired of moving, yeah?
I'm sick of moving. I'm sick of the constant worry and the stress of what are you going to do the next day. Like now I know, like I've got my kids there. I've got this house. I'm moving forward by clearing out all my debts and becoming a better person.
Yeah.
Like,
it takes a while.
I lost all my family through everything I've done. I've got nobody. I have my partner's family and that's it. And I have my partner and my kids.
Yeah.
And like even the little conversation I had with you today at work.
Yeah.
It means a lot. Like from what I've come from and where I am now, like I can't believe like the things I've gone through and the person I am today because of what I've been through.
Yeah, man.
What I've been through has made me the better person I am today.
Man, like, the stuff you're telling me, man. A lot of people don't realise how lucky they are and how they grow up and how fortunate they are, or they're not aware of how far they're passing people on the street, not knowing how far they've come just to walk on the same street.
Yeah, like for you to like. Everyone has their own shit happen to them, but and some of the stuff, like I've had a lot of really bad stuff happen to me as a kid, but for me being able to get past that, and I went and did a bit of counselling and whatnot, and I was able to talk about it, and I'm a lot more open about it now, and me talking to a few of my friends and that about it has helped them to be able to make closure about the things that have happened to them and help them move forward.
Yeah.
And it's talking to people that have been through the similar things. Yeah. That you're not getting the poor me.
Yeah.
Thing. It's you've been through it too. You understand what I'm going through. Yeah. So what did you do to get past that? How did you, and taking advice from people that have been through the same shit that you've been through helps you move forward. Like,
that's awesome.
And like, I've been having a shit week, and now after the conversation I've had today, I'll probably walk into my house and be a hell of a lot happier, like, because I've got no one to talk to. Yeah. And that's the thing. Sometimes you have no one to talk to, and there is people out there that you can talk to, and it's that taking that step, like, I don't want to talk to a counsellor, but it's not. They're not there to judge you. Yeah. They're there to help you and listen to you. And
you know what a metaphor is? It's like a replacement word for something. Sometimes a counsellor is just a metaphor for talking to someone.
Yeah, like
you just need to talk to someone.
It's like talking to your best mate. Like, but you don't know them. They don't know your past, and they can't judge you for what you've done. Like,
no, that's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a lot easier being able to talk to someone about it that's been through what you've been through, and not having to talking to your family and that they're like they don't sympathise or well they sympathise, but it's not the same as talking to someone who's been through what you've been through.
Yeah.
Because there's sympathising and there's understanding. Yeah. There's two different things, and for you to be able to understand and help someone move forward, that's the best feeling. Like,
bro, like today when I was saying stuff about my stuff, it's only because I was talking to you, but that's because after you opened up and started talking to me, I was like, oh, I know I can talk to you now because you know exactly what I'm talking about, but you're going to tell me the real answers, or you're gonna sympathise with me, or give me the right approach, or right but anyway. Did you want to say anything else?
I'm a bit lost at the minute, man. Like,
that's cool, man. So obviously the part of the big three is going out and talking to people and letting them know that they're not part of a very small part of the community that these things happen to. It happens to a lot of us. So I was very happy to speak to you today, bro.
Well, with you saying that too, like, man, if I hadn't come forward with all of my stuff and opened up about it, in doing so, it's helped. 3 of my mates have been able to move on and move forward with shit that's happened to them in the past, and also 3 members of my part this extended family have now, well, 2 of them were uncles of hers that have now been charged with being pedophiles.
Yeah.
But she didn't, like, my partner didn't realise that it is that common. It is everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not just, oh, that poor soul had it happen to him. It's on every street in Australia. It's not just something that happens. You could be in the Ritz, in the best place in the city, or you could be in the slum, and it's still gonna happen. It doesn't matter where you live or what life you come from.
Yeah.
It still happens to everyone, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
People need to understand it's not just in one group of people. It's across the board. There is so many people going through it that no one understands. It needs to be out there. People need to know it's not just you. It's everyone. But yeah.
As you all know, there's pretty much. I put myself out there 3 years ago, and I told everybody in a story about what I went through, and it's amazing how sharing your story will give another person the authority to tell their story, and trust. It's not just talking to someone; it's trusting them as well. So I'll leave it there. But thanks, Jake. Thanks for your time,
Cheers,
bro.
mate.
It was a pleasure to meet you, bro, and it's a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. And thanks for letting me video it as well.
Yeah, that's right, man.
But anyway, big 3, my sweet for their tears. Strive, thrive, live the life that you deserve. Go out and do something every day that you want to do for yourself, and eventually you'll get out of a rut and you'll start a habit and a lifestyle that's more in tune with where you want to go in life. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Peace.